So this person commented in the last video and they said, even if Essential does happen, y'all would still be disappointed. So too often is the tale of time. Sonic Team, the Skeleton Crew, not enough people, not enough budget, not enough time, crunch deadlines, whatever the case may be. This has been a narrative that we've far too been accustomed to with this studio over the years. And it seems like with this 35th anniversary, that's just been pretty lame thus far. It kind of feels like we're not getting anything this year. I think especially after the Summer Games Fest. Definitely seems like it's kind of cooked. I think we're going to get the Pico Park. We're going to get the Blitz. And Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition, they're kind of running out of days to showcase this. But we got some good news today. We have something interesting to talk about. Revolves around not only the next Sonic game, but also future Sonic games to come after that, spin-offs. Basically almost an entire restructuring, if you will, or expansion of Sonic Team. So without further ado, we're going to get into that. We're going to check it out. Subscribe to this channel if you want more laid back, chill discussions off script. Like we just go live and we talk about Sonic. We talk about whatever. If you guys want tips about being a YouTuber, anything, that's what the second channel's for. So without further ado, let's get into the news. We can go Q&A format. If you want a topic for the next video, drop a comment and ask me a question, and maybe we can make a video about it. In case you missed it, Sega is massively scaling up Sonic Team, and they're hiring for everything. So let's check out the article. So this is what they're looking for. Sega of Japan appears to be hiring for much more than a scenario writer in its second business division, with a vast number of roles opening up for the company's official recruitment channels, targeting roles specifically for Sonic projects. The roles amount to massive recruitment drive, staffing up across production, narrative, and tech art for their Tokyo headquarters in Osaka. Key among those is a new producer role, which involves managing overarching project pipeline for upcoming Sonic titles. A lead planner is also being sought after at the Sonic Team, who will be tasked with driving overall game design and shaping core gameplay loops. Other roles include a lead graphics programmer, a client programmer, technical art manager, technical art engineer. They're going all in here. Salaries range from 5 million yen to 13 million yen. I don't know what that converts to in US. Scenario writer, Sonic specific, handling game script creation, director coordination, and voice recording. Time to turn those fanfics into canon. Well, maybe not all. Okay, I think this is their own little spin. The producer is managing the overarching project pipeline, proving that Sega is dead serious about fortifying Sonic's development pipeline. Lead planner is driving the overall game design, tracking, planning milestones, and shaping the core gameplay loop. Lead graphics programmer for rendering geeks. This role focuses on researching next-gen rendering tech and designing custom render modules for Sega's in-house engine. Client programmer, coding player mechanics, enemy behavior, game progression for home consoles using internal engines, Unity or Unreal. So Hedgehog Engine 2 or whatever they choose to work on. Unity and Unreal, the two big other engines. Technical art manager is overseeing the art pipeline strategies, designing workflows, utilizing Maya, Houdini, and HDAs to bridge the gap between art and code. While this doesn't explicitly confirm a specific unannounced game just yet, it proves Sega is investing heavily in the infrastructure and brainpower needed to elevate the Blue Blur's future titles. So I would say that this is definitely fantastic news. I mean, we've talked about this over the years, how Sonic Team is expanding. I feel like it's not the first time that they've talked about this, but it seems like these are new job listings, so it seems like they're trying to go even bigger with the next Sonic game. And there's something I want to talk about because someone left a comment on the last video, and I want to kind of clarify my position. It's not that what this person said wasn't agreeable, but I want to address why. I mean, this is clearly good news, I would say. So this person commented in the last video, and they said, even if a Central does happen, y'all would still be disappointed. I mean, listen, the Centrals can be pretty disappointing, but I think we're going to get probably the next mainline game. But he also said, and can we please drop the be patient code? More time for Sonic Team doesn't automatically equal a good game. How have you guys not expected this? And I will say that that's not a false statement. Think about if you waited 5 years between Sonic Forces and Sonic Frontiers and you hate Sonic Frontiers. Well, that would probably make that statement true. And I think even the biggest Frontier fans, like I'm a Frontiers fan, would say that the game, you know, lacked polish in certain areas. So, you know, the gap between those games was something like 5 years, right? 2017 to 2022, 5 years. So if you're like a hater of that game, you would say that that statement's true. But here's why I fundamentally disagree with the premise with respect to this anniversary. And it's simply because we're seeing that they're investing more money into the IP. And the IP in 2026 is a lot more popular than I would say it was in 2020 or 2017 for that matter. Since 2020, we've gotten 3 movies, spin-offs, multiple spin-off series with Prime and the Knuckles show. We got multiple games. And I think the most important thing is that each one was better than the last. Wait, why did I pick this map? Let's do a different map for some extra scenery. But each game that came before it was, you know, at least in terms of the public perception, because obviously individual opinions exist. But I would say at scale, like the more common consensus is that each game was better than the one before it. In terms of the Metacritic score, it increased with every single release, with Frontiers getting a 71, Superstar 73, Dream Team 75, and then we got Shadow Generations, which was, I think, the highest rated 3D game since like Colors or Generations. So that was what, an 80? And then we got Crossworlds, which had an 83. So I would say that the quality for the games is getting better. And then even with that tech demo animation test, we see that they're clearly working on something. You know, they're clearly working on their presentation for the games. I think in Shadow Generations, some of that tech made its way in, and we saw that the animations look better. We saw that Shadow Generations was a more polished product than Frontiers, albeit on a smaller scale. But that's something that's also good about this announcement too. It kind of feels like with an expanded Sonic team, that means more side projects can come out. And I don't mean side projects like Pico Park or Rumble or even Crossworlds for that matter, which is a game that people like. But I think there's an appetite for more Shadow Generations type spin-offs or something more unique to the Sonic identity for side projects, as opposed to kind of like these trend-chasing, gimmicky kind of stuff that don't really seem to be paying the best dividends, like when you think about games like Rumble. I would say that statement, if we didn't have the data and the trends to kind of go off of, I mean, yeah, it's true. It doesn't necessarily mean more time is better. That's not a false statement, but I think based off of just the way things are going, I think we can expect that they are actually taking their time on the next game, and I think they really do want to get it right, especially with the movie coming out. I don't think you need to rush out a game this year for mainline. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed that we're not getting mainline this year. My only hope is obviously that Frontiers Definitive Edition has some, additional content. Like, it would be kind of disappointing if it's just a Switch 2 port, but I'm also okay with them actually taking their time, because it seems like there's actually evidence this time that the games are getting better. Like, they're coming out and telling us they're going to invest more into the IP, expand Sonic Team, make the games better. If you told me this maybe during the Frontiers release cycle, then yeah, it's probably a talking point that, okay, they're taking their time, the game's going to be better. Even though I do think the game was definitely better than Forces, and I love Frontiers, but I am aware of the criticism of the game, and it's definitely valid. You can critique the game. Like, it's definitely valid to take issue with Frontiers. I personally enjoy the game, but that's beside the point. So it probably was cope a couple years ago to say, okay, they're taking more time, it's going to be better, more budget, as opposed to now where there's demonstrable evidence. There's investor meet, like everything is pointing towards that direction. But you do have to wonder if they're basically overhauling Sonic Team, or at least expanding and hiring all these people. You have to wonder how much of that even makes it into the next game for Frontiers 2. Like, how far into development exactly are they? I mean, they probably started sometime around when? 23, maybe 22? I mean, a lot of Sonic Team, rather. I mean, they were pushing out updates for Frontiers until the end of 2023. So exactly how long has that game been in development for? Is this even targeting a 2028 release date? I mean, if all these hires are going to work on the new game, I mean, I'm sure they can sneak in some stuff, but I would imagine that they're pretty deep into the development process. It seems like they have a better direction for what they're going to do, too. Like, I mean, if you think about Frontiers 1, it was... I don't think they even knew it was going to be a platformer, like, 2 years before the game came out. So that was maybe a little more unfocused, a little messy for the development. I think this one, they have a more clear pipeline. So it's going to be curious to see as to whether or not these upcoming hires, like these additional ones that they made, so I'm sure they've done more over the years anyways, but maybe this round of hiring that they're doing, which project does this impact? Does it impact all of them? Is it a side project? What exactly? I don't know what it's for, but it's still good news though. I think it's good to see that they're hiring new talent. They're bringing in more people. They're putting more money into it, because you see a lot of these new remakes and stuff coming out. You see a lot of these companies doing these side projects. So, like I said, more Sonic identity, Sonic battle type games, Sonic Riders type games. Even like a Shadow the Hedgehog game, like that was kind of like a spin-off, technically, even though it's made in the main game engine. So that's what I'd like to see, and I'm just happy to see that if they really are taking their time and it does pay dividends, then this is a good thing. I mean, if the next game flops, then we all look dumb. But I think it's reasonable to assume that based off of all this news, it's a positive thing. I'm excited. If they want to take until 2027 or 2028 to release the next mainline Sonic game, and maybe they give us some actual good side projects and not these like, you know, gimmicky stuff, then I'm cool with it. So be patient. I think it's warranted this time. So let me know what you guys think about it, and let me know what you want me to talk about in the next video.